Hey Steven, this is your birthday video. Happy birthday. 11 years old. That's a big birthday. And I don't care what anybody says to you. I don't care what your brothers say. Anything 11 years old is no big deal. It is a big deal because you are 11 years old and today is your birthday. So happy birthday. That's what that's all about there. And I had heard through rumors in the grapevine that maybe possibly you would be considering as a career becoming a dentist or in the dental field, something like that. Great choice, by the way. And I just happen to have in our neighbor here a gentleman who is a dentist. His name is Dr. Frisch. That's right, you heard it correctly, Dr. Frisch. I'm not sure how you spell that, but and we were talking about, grandson might be, dental, dentist, blah, blah, blah. He said, I've got some old dental equipment for sale. If he wants it, I'll sell it to him very cheap. But it comes as a complete set. It's a complete office set. And I will pay for shipping to get it set up if he wants it. And so I went down, looked at it, and I took some pictures of it. And I'm impressed. The whole thing, he wants to sell the entire thing. You have to buy everything in there. So here's the first picture. There's 3 sets he's trying to sell. Here's the first set here. And take a look at it. Let me know what you think. I mean, it would be a great thing. You could set it up in your basement. You could experiment with your brothers. Come on over here, charge them $1, clean your teeth or whatever. Just go through all the motions of it. A lot of potential. Go to your school friends after school. Tell them you clean your teeth and check for cavities and things like that. So here it is. Here's the first picture. Let me know what you think of it. So what you think of that? Pretty good. Pretty good, huh? Well, I thought it was really good. Great idea. Here's the second set. And it's nice. It's a little bit newer. It reminds me of when I was 11 years old, the dentist that I went to. This is almost identical to what I experienced, and so I like it better only because of that. So here's set number 2. So you can tell right away that's a little bit newer set. Here's the third one here. It has a little bit of vintage, but a lot of possibilities here. Everything works for him. He assured me of that. So here's set number 3. Let me know what you think of this one. So now I've done a little bit of research on how much a dentist makes, and I looked up, the Bureau of Statistics and salaries and blah, 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 all that in Pennsylvania, and I found out what a dentist in Pennsylvania makes, and it's pretty impressive. This is in Jonestown, typical dentist. So you just get some ideas of what they're going to get paid. So here it is. You ready? Not bad, huh? You could work 1 day a week for that. Jeez, whatever. And then I checked, what the heck, let me look at this too. I looked up the dentist in Florida. I mean, that's where we are. It could be better down here. So here's what a typical average dentist makes in Florida. So here it is. That's quite a bit different. You could work a half a day a week with that, with that. And then one more, I checked in Bel Air, in the town that we live in here, just to see, with Bel Air. And here's what an average dentist in Bel Air makes. You ready? Nothing to sneeze at there. We're talking about 1 day every 2 weeks, so you have to work. And then I asked our dentist friend here, how does he charge? And he says sometimes he has to charge per tooth, whatever. So this is what he charges per tooth. And I want to give you some pictures here of some typical patients that he experiences here. He showed them to me. But this is what he makes per tooth. You can go either way, whatever. That's not bad. $500 per tooth, that's a pretty good thing. So let me show you a few pictures here now of a couple of typical patients of the doctor here that he shared with me. I'm going to show it to you here. So here's patient number 1. So that was patient number one. That's pretty typical. A little gruesome, huh? Don't you think? The second one's a little bit better here. I'm going to show you the second patient here. And let me know what you think. This is the typical. Just give you some ideas here. If you charge by the tooth, you know what the heck, here it is, patient number two. So that's it for the patients here. I just want to show you what Dr. Frisch, what he drives, his typical car, and you'll see a lot of these cars around here. It's called a Bugatti. I'm not sure, I don't know too much about it other than that, but here's his car, and a lot of dentists drive this car, so check it out. So here now is the last picture I'm going to show you here. This is where he lives, typical dentist house here in Bel Air. And if you look at the picture, up at the window up there, you'll see him. He's in there. He said he's in there. I couldn't see it actually, but he said he's in there waving. So check it out. This is a typical house for a dentist. This is his house, Dr. Frisch's house here. So, have a nice party there, whatever, here it is. So that's it. And so now we come to the most important part of this video is the requirements for you to be able to open your presents. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read to you a story. In the story, there's details. It's a short story, one paragraph. You need to pay attention to the details in this story. Don't let anything distract you. Get as many people around you as you can to listen to this story, and you have to focus on the story, on the details, because as soon as I start reading the story, everything that I read could possibly be on the 4-question quiz at the end. And you need to answer 3 questions correctly in order to be able to open your present. It's really important. So focus, no distractions, no matter what happens. I don't want you to be distracted by a single thing. Do you have that? Is that clear? Was that you? Just don't worry about that. I want you to focus and pay attention to the story. Here's the story now. There was an 11-year-old boy whose name was Skleven. He loved to read. He would often read 3 books every week. Imagine that. His favorite book was about another 11-year-old boy named Clefen, who had to go to the dentist. So Clefen's mother, whose name was Rose, and whose hair was colored electric lime, told Clefen to put on his blue jacket and his violet hat and get into his... Is that you? Are you paying attention? To get into his Indian yellow bicycle and ride to the dentist, who was on Pink Street. So Clefen rode his bike to Dr. Burleywood's office. The nurse, whose name was Miss Carl, greeted him and told Clefen to sit in a cayenne chair. Is that you? You doing that? Focus. Dr. Burleywood commented that Clefen's teeth were as clean as an antique corn silk white piano key. Imagine that. So Clefen smiled and left Dr. Curlywood's office. He said goodbye to Nurse Canary and rode his brown and Chinese red bicycle to the candy store. He saw his favorite candy, Magenta Chews, in a citron wrapper. He bought 2, not 1, not 3, but two. Then he rode to his house, which was on Top Street. He put his gray bicycle away and ate his favorite candy, the emerald caramels. And that's the end of our story that Scleafin loved to read. What do you think? Here's your questions, and you have a limited time to answer these questions here. Here's question number 1. What is the 11th word in this story? The 11th word, I'll give you a hint. It begins with an S, it ends with an N, and it has 8 letters. You have a few minutes to answer this question. All right, time's up. Question number 2. Are you listening now? You pay attention carefully now because this is a complicated question. How many wheels were on Cleafin's bicycle? How many wheels on Cleafin's bicycle? The answer is in the question. Number 3. You should have that already. Number 3. What color was Cleafin's mother's hair? The color of her hair. And question number 4, the last question here, is how do you spell the word Scleafin? Scleafin, the star of the story, the boy who read a lot. And that's it. So fill out those questions, and at the bottom of the video here, you'll see a place where you can put in the answers to that, and you need to get 3 out of 4. But that's it. Stephen, hope you have a happy birthday, and you can now, if you answer the 3 questions right, you can open your presents. That's it. Talk to you later. Bye.